Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Wispin here, and welcome back to another video here on the Pokecentral network. I believe we're on episode 53, 52, something like that. I really need to keep better track of the episode numbers, but today we're going to be going after a Lucario in a How to Train Your Lucario episode. We're going to be getting the best possible Lucario, or one of the best, because there's actually quite a few different sets you can go with for Lucario, but I guess let's just go ahead and jump straight into things. So like always, if you guys do want to join me here on my server, the IP is Pokecentral.org. All the links you'll need to get the mod Pixelmon are down in the description below, as well as a tutorial on how to actually install the mod if you're having any issues. And on top of that, there's a linked invite to my Discord where you can get support if you're having any troubles. You can meet new people. There's over 11,000 members on my Discord, so plenty of people over there. And if you just go ahead and leave a message in the support chat saying all the details about your issue, I'm sure someone will go ahead and respond and answer your question. So we're actually making our way over to the Extreme Hills biome where I know Lucario spawns. Now, when I looked up Riolu's spawn locations, it was a little bit strange. It basically just says that it doesn't spawn in the wild. Now, it says that it actually spawns in every single biome in the game, but I believe it says that information when it's actually not able to spawn for some reason. So I'll have to look into that. I'm not entirely sure why that would be the case, but luckily, Lucario does have Extreme Hills as its only spawn location, which means it's most likely working. If we go ahead and check the time, he does not spawn at any time. I believe that means he spawns at any time, which is kind of a weird thing that they probably need to fix with the Pixelmon mod. Maybe it'll be fixed in the next version. And then the final thing here is going to be the rarity, so we can see just how uncommon this Pokemon is. And it's pretty uncommon, sitting at a 20. That's going to put it as one of the most rare Pokemon in the game. So we actually have a wild Charizard. I also saw a wild Tyranitar down here somewhere. Might have despawned. Still no Lucario, even though I'm pretty sure Charizard has a lower rarity. Maybe the same rarity? Let's check. So it should be Wiki Charizard rarity. What does that send at? 10. So it has half the rarity and it appeared first. I don't know, guys. They're pretty rare, it seems. I might have to end up buying one off another player. I'll just maybe ask in chat if anyone can post their Lucario or Riolu in the GTS, because we could be here a while if we just wait for a wild one to spawn, and a lot of people will probably sell them fairly cheap, maybe 5,000, 10,000 coins tops, just because you can easily just breed another one, get an egg, hatch that. So they're really not that valuable, and no Pokemon that can be bred are really that valuable unless they have like perfect IVs, and even then, doesn't really make that much of a difference. But I don't know if we're going to be able to find one. I'm going to just sit here. I'll ask in probably about 5-10 minutes if anyone actually will sell me one, just because it seems to be taking quite a while. All right, so here we go. Keith MC going to be selling me this Lucario here. I don't really care that much about the stats. 47%. Although I did ask if people... How much is this one? Does it say? 96% EVs, 45%. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just go with this one because stats really don't matter. We can easily breed this with our Ditto to go ahead and increase the IVs. Now, we are going to have to figure out something for the nature, and I believe it already has the correct ability, Inner Focus. I think that's what we're going to want, so that should work fine. Actually, never mind. I lied. We're not actually going to go with Inner Focus. We're going to be going with Steadfast instead. So I don't know about this Lucario here that we bought for 10k. It's okay, I guess. It's kind of just a random Lucario, which is what I asked for, so we're going to work with it. We're just going to have to go for it. We're just going to have to go with it, hope that maybe it'll work out. And where exactly is my Ditto? Is it still in the daycare? Yes, with my Larvitar. Okay, so we'll take you out. Confirm that. And what are you actually holding? The Everstone. Okay, so we're going to want... I think I'm going to go with a Jolly Nature for my Lucario. You can do physical or special attack with Lucario. I'm going to do physical attack for now. Maybe we'll do a secondary one with special attack, and maybe we'll even do one where we have a Mega Lucario, but for now we're just going to be going with the base physical attack Lucario setup, and that means we're actually going to need to take out our Ditto as well, because it's actually Jolly Nature, which is fantastic for us, because we can just go ahead, move the Destiny Knot to the Lucario, Everstone to the Ditto, and now we're guaranteed to have a Jolly Natured Lucario, or Riolu, which is kind of a pain because every single time that we want to breed, we're actually going to have to evolve the Riolu that we get out of the egg in order to go ahead and put him into the daycare because he cannot breed as a baby Pokemon. And the worst part of all is the evolution requires happiness, I believe. So that's going to be quite the pain to try and figure out. But we're just going to have to work with it. And hopefully we'll get like a perfect Riolu first egg. But I kind of doubt that's going to happen. All right, so I just actually got the notification that we got our first egg out of the daycare. So let's go ahead and take a look at the IVs of this egg and see if it's something we can work with. See if it's at least better than this Lucario and we can go and replace it in the daycare. Or see if we need to just toss it out. Here we go. The moment of truth. IVs number 2. Let's go ahead and turn on our chat very slowly here. Okay, 331s, a 0 in defense, 13 HP, 13 speed. Not great, but definitely better than the one that we're currently breeding. So I'm going to go ahead and hatch this guy. And now we got to evolve it. So, about that. I don't actually know how we're going to go about evolving this thing because I think we do need 220 happiness. So if we go Wiki Riolu Evo day, which is friendship during the day, 220. All right. So my best guess is going to be put a Soothe Bell on, grab some berries, shove them down the Riolu's throat, and then he'll be really, really happy and he'll evolve into a Lucario. And it's currently daytime, so we need to hurry up and do that. And I also want to try something. I want to try to put him in the Pokeball that raises happiness, which I think is like a friend ball or something like that. And I'm going to see if that will actually increase the happiness of the eggs that we get out because they're technically going to be in that same ball once we breed them and hatch the eggs. So I don't know if that affects happiness off the bat, but it very well could, and it might make things a whole lot easier going into this. But let's see. We don't even have a Soothe Bell. How unfortunate. Okay. Warp Shop. Let's go ahead and waste a ton of money evolving our Riolu. So I think the Soothe Bell does affect the happiness that you gain from berries. So that's why I'm actually going to go ahead and just buy it just to test out. So that's going to be 800. It's pretty cheap. And then the berries should be evolution stones and items. I think they're in vitamins. Yes, here. And the cheapest one is going to be 1,800 here. So let's go ahead and just buy like 5 of these and see if it actually works. So here we go. Boom. Friendship increased. What are we looking at? 5 berries, 75 happiness. You know what? That's not too bad. It's really expensive, like really, really expensive. But I think it's worth it because otherwise we're going to have to sit here for hours trying to go ahead and get our friendship up through other means. So this should be getting us close to the maximum. Is that the max? 215, one more. 218, one more. And I think we just went over a little bit because I accidentally clicked twice. 224, okay. Awesome. So now let's grab ourselves a rare candy. And keep in mind, we're not actually going to be using this Lucario, so it doesn't really matter that much. We're just trying to get it evolved so that we can continue on working with it and hopefully get some higher IVs going forward. Alrighty, so we got our Lucario with the correct nature. We actually have none of the moves that we need, and one of the moves is actually Bullet Punch, which I believe is an egg move, which means we're going to have to try and figure out how to get that. But before we do that, I want to make sure that we have a Lucario with reasonable stats. So I think what we're going to do is actually, we're going to work on 2 things at once. So we're going to have our Ditto breeding with this Lucario, and that way we can continue to work on our stats, getting those IVs a little bit higher. Then we're going to take our second Lucario that we actually have currently sitting inside of the daycare, and we're going to try to breed it with a Pokemon that knows Bullet Punch so that we can get a Riolu that knows Bullet Punch, and then we'll breed our Riolu that knows Bullet Punch with our better IV Lucario once we've got that all sorted out. Okay, so we put this in here. Actually, I'm going to move this here. That should be fine. Daycare. Here we go. We'll put him in here, confirm that, and now we're going to go ahead and breed this Lucario with a Pokemon that knows Bullet Punch. All right, so out of all of the Pokemon that I actually own, this one might just be the only one that can learn Bullet Punch through leveling up. Now, there's only actually 5 different Pokemon that can do this, which is Hitmonchan, Scizor, Matang, Metagross, and Pangoro. So we're going to take this guy over to the move relearner and see if we can hopefully relearn the move that we're looking for. And then we're going to have to use the Poke Designer to actually change this Pangoro into a female, because otherwise it's not going to be able to actually breed with our Lucario. So Warp Shop, we'll start off by checking out the move relearner and making sure we can actually get the move that we're looking for. And then once we've done that, we should be able to go ahead and start breeding. He can't. Oh, wow. Interesting. I would have thought that he could. That is odd. So it seems like it's a move that he only learns on evolution, which means we're going to be unable to actually teach it to him through the move relearner. I don't know if there's any other Pokemon that are in the correct egg group. Maybe Hitmonchan? He's actually going to be in the human-like egg group, same as Lucario. And the way that he learns Bullet Punch is just by reaching level 16. So seems like that's probably our best bet, but we don't have a Hitmonchan. So that's an issue. All right, that's awesome. So I believe we got this from Sophic here, which actually just sold us a Hitmonchan. It's a male. I think Hitmonchan can be both genders. I hope. I mean, we're going to make it. No, it can't be. It can't be. It can't be both genders. Lucario, can you be both genders? I think so. I'm hoping. This is getting really confusing, guys. I'm such a mess. So I believe in order for us to actually go ahead and get the Bullet Punch passed down to Lucario, we actually need the Lucario to be a female. Otherwise, we're going to get the wrong species of Pokemon. So, okay, this is a mess. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. I hate egg moves. They're the worst. Oh, it's okay sometimes, but sometimes it's just a mess. Okay, so level 50 should be able to learn Bullet Punch if it doesn't know it already. We need you to be a female. So let's just go for that. Confirm that. Confirm that. And then let's go ahead and check the moveset here. Moves. Do you know Bullet Punch? Yes, you do. So Daycare. And we'll go ahead and toss you into here and you into here. And please start breeding. They are breeding. So that's going to get our egg for our Bullet Punch Riolu. And then the other set of Pokemon we have breeding here, we'll go ahead and breed better IVs. So we have 2 separate breeding pens working towards the same goal of getting us the Lucario that we want. All right, so we actually have an egg in both Daycare Pen 2 and 3, which means we can actually go ahead and see if we got the Bullet Punch first, and then we'll go ahead and check out the IVs on the other egg. So I guess we just need to hatch this thing, which means we're not really going to be able to hatch our other egg straight away because there's a 5-minute cooldown. But that's all right. So we actually have Steadfast, which is actually the ability that we do want. So do we have the move Bullet Punch? We do have it. Okay. Perfect. Only problem, it's a male. So we need it to be a female because we need to pass down that ability, and we also need to pass down the moves, and I'm not entirely sure how moves pass down. I don't think it is dependent on gender, but I could be totally wrong on that. So let's go ahead and take this egg out and check the IVs. IVs number 3. And that should be... and not really any better than our other one, to be honest. So let's just go ahead and evolve this guy here, and we'll get him up to where he's actually able to breed and pass down that Bullet Punch, and then we'll continue waiting on some eggs until we get one that has a little bit better IVs. All right, it's time for the moment of truth. We just got our egg. Let's see if it has better IVs than the other ones. IVs number 3. You know what? That's not so bad. So here's what we're actually going to do. First things first, we're going to go ahead and change up some things with this Riolu in the Poke Designer. We're going to go ahead and boost its IVs up just so that it is 100% IVs. And then we're going to breed it with our Lucario that knows Bullet Punch in order to go ahead and get a high IV Lucario that knows the correct moves and is pretty much battle ready. So we got all the IVs in place. Let's go ahead and check the ability. I'm going to go ahead and change it to Steadfast because that's actually what we want. And I think that's pretty much all I need to change, although there should be a ball in here. Friend Ball. Is that the right one, or is it Luxury Ball? Which one raises happiness? So Friend Ball is actually the one that we want. Luxury Ball also has an effect on happiness, but it works more like a Soothe Bell in that it doubles the happiness that you gain while the Pokemon is in that ball. So we want Friend Ball, which will by default set the Pokemon's happiness to 200 if it works as it's intended. Let's go ahead and confirm that. And now we need to go ahead into the daycare and take out our female Lucario right here, I believe. I think this is the one that has the move that we need. Yeah, it should be. No, it's not. Okay, where is the one that we need? Interesting. Did I lose it? I think I may have lost it. Oh no, where did it go? Oh, maybe this is it right here. Let's check this one. Let's actually get this held item off of here. And let's go ahead and put this one back in here. And let's check. Do you have the move that we need? Please say that you do. Bullet Punch. Okay, good. So we are pretty much good to go at this point. Now, the one other thing that we need to go ahead and take a look at is the female's ability, Steadfast. That's good. Now, we need to, it looks like, take the Ditto out and get that Everstone, and we're going to put it on our top Riolu here because he has Jolly Nature. And then we're actually going to go ahead and put the Destiny Knot on this Lucario. Even though this Lucario has pretty bad IVs, it doesn't really matter because this Riolu has perfect IVs. So now we just need to evolve this Riolu, put him in the daycare, wait for one more egg, and that should be the Riolu that we use on our actual team. We'll just have to do some training and probably a little bit of poke editing of the IVs just to boost them up slightly, and then work on the moveset. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and put this Lucario, actually both of our Lucarios, into the daycare. And then we're back to waiting for an egg, but this should be the final egg. As long as our IVs roll a decent number, then we should be able to use the Riolu that we get out of our first egg. However, if it ends up that we're really unlucky and we get really, really bad IVs, we might have to wait for a second one. Kind of hoping that we can get it first try, though, because this will be, I think, our 5th or 6th Riolu that we've actually had to wait on for breeding. And you got to keep in mind, each one can take up to an hour. Although, for the most part, they've probably each taken around 30 or so minutes. So not too bad. Okay, I just got, like, the fastest egg I think I've ever had from the daycare. It took literally 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and check this thing out. Come on, IVs, please, please, please. Oh my god, those are... That's about as bad as it could be. Okay, yeah, this is going straight in the trash. I guess when you get an egg quick, it's not a good egg. So I would be happy to wait an hour if it had, you know, 3, 4, 5 perfect IVs, but that egg was completely terrible. So we're waiting for another one. Okay, so here we go. Hopefully this time around, we're going to have a little bit better luck. Please be slightly better. IV's 2. Oh my god, it's worse. It's worse. Why did I say that it was the worst egg possible? This one is so much worse. Okay. Oh no. All right, so the first 2 eggs that we just got there only took about 10 minutes max for both of them. This one took a full hour, so I'm hoping that means maybe we'll have better IVs. I know it's completely unrelated. That's not really how it works, but who knows? Maybe third time's a charm. Let's see. Can we get slightly better IVs on this guy here? IVs number 4. You know what? Actually, that is remarkably better. Wow, okay. That's pretty good. Now, we are going to have to boost the attack IVs and the special defense just because those are pretty important stats for our Lucario's setup, but not as bad as like a 47% that we just got. So let's go ahead and hatch this thing. Hatch 4. And it should... Ah, dang. I was hoping that it would have 200 happiness because of the ball that it's in. That's kind of unfortunate. But all right, that's fine. We will go ahead and boost its happiness up, most likely just using berries, because that's really the easiest way to go about this. And let's go ahead and check, make sure it has Bullet Punch. So we're pretty much good to go. This is the Lucario, this is the Riolu that we are going to be using for our final setup. All right, so if we actually go ahead and change this Riolu's ball into a luxury ball, and then we actually get that Soothe Bell, which I think I've lost now at this point. Did I put it away in here? Yeah, here. And then we head on over to Warp Shop and buy up some berries. I wonder if we'll get a 4 times multiplier on the happiness that we actually receive from the berries. I'm kind of hoping that it works that way just because they are pretty expensive. But even if it doesn't, I don't really mind spending the money because we are pretty rich. I mean, I've actually gone down in the last week. We were at like 2.6 million at one point. That's all right. Let's see. None of them are 1,800 right now, which is kind of unfortunate. But let's just go ahead and buy like 5 and see how much that actually gives. So each berry is going to give us 15 happiness. Really? I think it's normally way, way, way less than that. So I will take it. Seems like the multiplier is most likely working. I could be totally wrong. I really have no idea, but it seems like it's pretty effective. So let's go ahead and just fill up on the happiness. And 161, we're still going to need a few more here. Just by, again, it doesn't really matter which ones we buy. I think they all do about the same thing when it comes to happiness. I know they also remove EVs, but that's not really important because we have 0 EVs at the moment. 209 happiness, we are still a little ways off, so let's go ahead and buy up. I think 3 or 4 more berries should do the trick. Let's try 3. And we'll see, are these going to actually work? 1 more. Okay, so that's odd. Do the berries have less effectiveness over time? Because it seems like the first couple gave 15, and then the last few started giving like 3 happiness max, which is strange. I don't know exactly the mechanics behind that, but I guess we'll just go with it. Slash home, we should be good to go ahead and evolve now. I don't believe we need to keep him as Riolu for any of the other moves in our moveset. We got Bullet Punch. We just need our other 3 moves, and we can get those all once he's a Lucario. It's nighttime. Okay, well, that was a good attempt. Probably should have checked the time of day before giving him a rare candy, but that is okay. All right, so let's just go ahead and start working on the moveset. So we're going to be going for Bullet Punch, which we already have, Ice Punch, which is super easy to get from a TM. We should actually have one of those TMs just sitting in our chest. We're also going to be getting Swords Dance, which should also be a TM that we have. It's right here. Where's my Ice Punch? We're running low on Ice Punch TMs, but that is okay. And then the final move is Close Combat, which I believe also maybe a TM, although we might have to learn it through leveling up, because it doesn't look like we have the TM. So if we go ahead and do Wiki Lucario moves, let's see. No. Oh, Close Combat, level 55. But also learns it at level 0, which is interesting. That might mean we can get it through the move relearner, and we don't have to wait that long. Let's see. Does Riolu learn any moves at level 0? No. And he doesn't even learn Close Combat. So we are definitely going to have to evolve as soon as it turns today, and then we'll go ahead and put that final move on, but we should be able to learn at least these 2 for now. So there we go, 1 move to go, and we'll have our completed move set. Let's go ahead and just use the Poke Designer really quick, because this video has gone on a pretty long time already to get the EVs set up exactly how we want. So what we're actually going to be going for is a physical attack Lucario. Now, I want to go ahead and state again, you can actually make a very, very good special attack Lucario. You can go either way, and I might do a video on a special attack variant at some point in the future if you guys would be interested in that. But for this Lucario and this moveset, we are going to be going with physical attack, which means we do want to boost that stat because we want him to do as much damage as possible from each of his hits, since he's pretty much a pure physical attack Pokemon. Doesn't really have any setup moves, doesn't really have any sort of helping, support moves for the rest of his team. Pretty much independent and just there to do as much damage as possible. And another good way to do that is also to bump up our speed. Lucario's fairly decent in the speed category. A base speed of 90, it's not the greatest, but it's also not the worst, so boosting it can definitely help us outspeed some of those mid to low level speed Pokemon. And then his attack is actually base 110, and his special attack is base 115, so it is slightly higher, but they are pretty similar levels, and the movesets are pretty different, so it's just really up to you what you want to do. His effectiveness is going to really rely a lot on what the opponents are using, so it's kind of give and take with which direction you go. But let's just go ahead, do that. So we got our speed, we got our attack, and we'll throw the rest, I guess, just straight into special defense, because why not? So let's go ahead and confirm that. I'm going to actually switch him on over into a Premier Ball since we're here, we might as well. And we're going to go ahead and make him shiny Can we afford that? Yes, we can. Okay, cool. So there we go. We got ourselves a shiny Riolu. We have all of our IVs, all of our EVs correct, and our ability, which is just boost the speed stat each time a Pokemon flinches. It's an okay ability, not really the greatest. Lucario, I don't think really has that great of abilities. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and toss him out here, and it should be daytime, I think. So we should be able to evolve into a Lucario. And finally, we have our completed Pokemon. Now, we still need to get our held item, and we still need to talk a little bit about the different moves that we have on our Pokemon and get that close combat move, but he should be able to learn it from the move relearner now if we go to Warp Shop. I think, I hope, because otherwise I'm not entirely sure how we're going to get it. So let's fly on over here. Can we learn close combat? Here we go. Awesome. Okay. So we'll replace counter with close combat, and that is our completed Lucario. So if we go ahead and take a look at his IVs 4, we never actually boosted them. I totally forgot to do that. So let's just go ahead and boost him real quick. It's pretty straightforward. We're going to go into here and boost attack up to 31 and special defense up to 31 as well, and confirm that. There we go. Okay, so now we should be completely done with the IVs sitting at 100%. Now special attack doesn't really matter, or physical attack doesn't really matter, depending on which type of Lucario you want to build. Like I said, you can go either way with this. Doesn't really matter. They're both very, very effective Pokemon. And then EVs, that's what I have set up. Now, if you go for the special attack variant, all you're really going to need to switch is the physical attack IVs to special attack. Speed is probably something that you're going to want to go with if you go with a Lucario, just because it does really help out. So, I don't know. There might be setups that don't require you to go with speed, but I would definitely recommend it. If we go ahead and take a look at his ability, not the greatest ability in the world, however, still decent. It boosts the speed stat if the Pokemon flinches. And we have Jolly Nature just to go ahead and get a little bit more of a speed boost. Now, if you are going to be going with a special attacking Lucario, I would recommend going with Timid Nature, which is the same thing except it decreases physical attack rather than special attack. And then Moveset, we have Swords Dance, which is going to go ahead and boost our physical attack by 2 stages, which is a 100% increase every time we use that move. We have Ice Punch, which is just a pretty good ice type move. Physical damage and has a chance to freeze the opponent. Close Combat does a pretty massive amount of damage. However, it does lower our defense and special defense, so that is something we have to take into account. And then Bullet Punch is a pretty great move. Always goes first, which is great, but it doesn't have a very high power. So the final thing that we're actually going to do is just go ahead and get a move, a held item for this Lucario, and we're just going to be going with the same thing we've used in plenty of other videos, the Life Orb. I'm sure you guys already know at this point, but Life Orb boosts your damage by 30%, which is amazing. However, you do take a 10% recoil damage every time you hit a move and land some damage on an opponent. So that is something that you have to take into account. However, I would recommend going ahead and using a Life Orb, whether or not you use a physical or special Lucario, because it is a really, really good item. And if you're going to be going with a Mega Lucario, then of course you're not going to be able to use a Life Orb, but you will probably want to change up the moveset a little bit to adjust to the Mega Lucario. All right, guys. Well, I'm really hoping I didn't forget anything. We didn't really level up our Lucario too much, but it didn't require it because of the moveset that we chose. So I'll probably go ahead and do that off video. And I think that's actually going to be it for this episode. So, if you guys do want to join me on my server, like I said at the beginning of the video, the IP is Pokecentral.org. One thing to keep in mind is there is currently a 40% off sale network-wide here on the server. So if you want to take advantage of that, go ahead and check out buy.pokecentral.org. All of the ranks, all of the Pokemon, all of the different stuff is 40% off, and all of that money goes towards supporting the server and supporting my channel. So if you do want to take a look at that, I definitely recommend it. Even if you can't purchase anything, it is still something kind of cool to check out. But with that being said, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.